Hey guys, it's Cara, welcome back to the Rambutina channel. Today we are going to join all of these Picasso squares to make a blanket. I made 80 squares in total, which requires 2 packs of the Ice Yarns Picasso yarn and 1 pack of Softly Baby. However, you can make the blanket any size you'd like. Please check out my last tutorial on how to make these flower granny squares that I designed. So we're going to work on the joining border, which is a simple join as you go granny square round. I'm using Ice Yarn Softly Baby in this light lilac colour, and this is honestly Ice Yarn's softest solid acrylic yarn. I'm still going to use a 6.5mm crochet hook for this part. Even though it says on the label and on the website it's a 3 lightweight yarn, it's more of an in-between a 3 and a 4 medium weight. You want to start out with a slip knot, and then we're going to attach our yarn in one of the corners with a standing single crochet. So just go right into that space and make a single crochet. Then you want to chain 1 to make a beginning double crochet, and then we're going to make 1 more double crochet into that space, and we finish this corner at the end of this round. So after you've got 2 double crochets, you want to chain 1 and then go into that chain 2 space from the previous round and make 3 double crochets. Chain 1 and make 3 double crochets into the next chain 2 space. Chain 1 again, and we're in the corner, so you're going to make 3 double crochets. For the first square we are just going to make the border, and then with the second square that's when we'll start joining. Chain 2 to make your corner and make 3 more double crochets into the same corner space. Chain 1 and make 3 more double crochets into the next chain 2 space. And you want to continue this pattern all around the square, so making 3 double crochets, chain 1 in between, and then in the corners you want to make 3 double crochets, chain 2 to make your corner, and then 3 more double crochets into the same corner space. We're in the last corner where we started, so after your 2 chains, make 1 double crochet to finish the first cluster, and then you want to slip stitch at the top of the first beginning double crochet. Chain 1 to fasten off. Now we're going to take our second square and start joining. So you want to take your yarn and make another slip knot. And we're going to join our yarn to the square exactly like we did before, so with a beginning double crochet and just 1 more double crochet in that space. Chain 1 and make 3 double crochets into the next chain 2 space. Chain 1, 3 more double crochets into the next space. Chain 1 and 3 double crochets into the corner. Chain 2 to make the corner, and then 3 more double crochets to complete that corner. And you're going to complete the normal granny square round for 3 of the sides, and we'll show you how to join on the 4th side. So now I've done half of the 3rd corner, and instead of chaining 2 for the corner, we're going to chain 1, slip stitch into the corner of the other granny square, chain 1 and finish this corner with 3 more double crochets. Now instead of chaining 1, we are going to go into the opposite granny square into that chain 1 space, and we are going to slip stitch. And continue making 3 double crochets into the chain 2 space of the granny square we're working on. Then you want to slip stitch again to the other side. Make your 3 double crochets. Slip stitch into the other side. And now we're in the last corner that we started with, so make 3 double crochets. Chain 1, slip stitch into the other corner of the other granny square, chain 1 again, and make 1 double crochet to complete that first cluster. Then you want to slip stitch at the top of the beginning double crochet. Chain 1 to fasten off. So, because I made 80 squares in total, I started by joining 8 squares together, just like this, joining with just one side, and then for our second row we're going to join the 9th square to the bottom of the very first square. Next we need to join with 2 sides, so you can see here I'm just choosing which way to place the granny squares so that the positions of the colours look nice. I then take the bottom corner closest to the project and join my yarn there. Follow the same pattern as before, so make a slip knot with your joining yarn. Make a beginning double crochet in that corner. Make 1 more double crochet in that space, chain 1, 3 double crochets into the next chain 2 space. And carry on with the same pattern as before, but this time complete 2 sides of the square without joining. We have completed two sides and half of the second corner, so we're going to join into that top square with a chain 1, slip stitch in the space in between the two squares, chain 1, finish the corner with 3 double crochets. Continue joining this side to the square above. When we get to the next corner, chain 1, and slip stitch into the corner diagonally opposite to the square you're working on. Chain 1 and finish your corner with 3 double crochets. Continue joining down this side. Now we're in the last corner where we started, so like before, after the 3 double crochets, chain 1, slip stitch into the other square's corner, chain 1 and finish with 1 double crochet, slip stitch at the top of the beginning double crochet. Chain 1 to fasten off. Continue joining like this for 10 rows in total, or however big you'd like to make your blanket. Now I have all of my squares joined, I'm going to add a really simple border to neaten up the edges. So to do this, I'm taking my Softly Baby yarn again and making a slip knot. I'm going to join my yarn with a beginning double crochet anywhere in one of the double crochet stitches. And then I'm going to place half double crochets at the top of all of the double crochet stitches. Now we're at a corner of 2 squares, so in that first chain space I'm going to put a half double crochet. In between the squares I'm going to place a double crochet to make sure the sides are straight, and then in that next chain space of the corners I'm going to place another half double crochet. And then you've got 3 double crochet cluster there, so I'm going to place 3 half double crochets in these stitches. And then you don't want to place a stitch over the chain 1 space. So I'm going to go straight into that next 3 double crochet cluster with 3 half double crochets on top of each stitch. So remember, don't make a stitch in between the clusters, just on top of them. For the corners of the blanket, I placed 2 half double crochets right over the 2 chains. Continue this pattern for the border of the entire blanket, and remember I have the written pattern in the description box below so you can follow it along there as well. So here's the pattern again for the section where 2 squares are joined and you have those corner spaces. You want to half double crochet in the chain space, 1 double crochet in between the 2 squares, and then a half double crochet in the next chain space. Now to finish the border you just want to slip stitch at the top of the first beginning double crochet and you are finished! Oh, and chain 1 to fasten off. We did it! We finally finished the Picasso blanket. I hope you guys like the finished product and the tutorial for this blanket. Again, thank you so much for all of your lovely comments. I appreciate it so much. Also, a massive thank you to Ice Yarn for sending me some of this yarn. It's lovely to work with and it's so incredibly soft. Thank you so much for watching. Please let me know what you think and what other projects you'd like to see from me using Ice Yarn. Hope you're having a lovely day. I'll see you in the next one. Bye! Happy crocheting!